Today I'm going to talk about one of my favourite animals, the praying mantis. As much as I'd love to be able to talk about them all, there's just too many and it'd be a very long video. So today I'm going to talk about the giant rainforest mantis. The scientific name I'll put up on the video because I'm not going to try and pronounce it. This mantis originates from Australia and is one of the largest species of mantis from there, and females can range from the size of 10 centimetres as adults. Here are some pictures on where you'd be able to see them if you was ever to look in the wild. There'd be a load of places for them to camouflage. As you can see in this picture, they have this gorgeous bright green base coloration with red inner forearms and purple on the inside of the prothorax, and black as well. Some are also known to go a little yellow. These amazing creatures are not only fascinating to observe, but relatively easy to care for as well. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is creating the perfect habitat for your mantis to thrive. As praying mantis are arboreal, you'll need to give them a spacious enclosure that is at least twice as wide as your mantis and 3 times as tall. Give them plenty of vertical space for climbing and exploring. When setting up the tank, you will want lots of moss to help with the humidity in the tank, lots of branches, twigs and vine, basically anything they can grip onto. Real or artificial plants work great. I prefer the look of bioactive, but obviously it's up to you, it's your preference. All this stuff will help your mantis to camouflage, feel protected, safe and able to ambush their prey. Keeping in mind, when keeping mantis, people actually do recommend using mesh lids. But as you can see in most of my videos here, this is the tank that I'm using. So this tank I got from the spider shop. The mantis is able to grip onto the top of it, and it's still quite spacious for nymphs. Only until they get to a certain size, and then you feel comfortable upgrading them. Now this is because in the mantis hobby, the mesh is actually mainly used for molting purposes. Now I'm sure as many people know, praying mantis grow by shedding their exoskeleton. This process is called molting. And for them to do this successfully, they'll need to hang upside down to push themselves out using gravity. Now this process can take up to 30 minutes to several hours, and you do need time to harden up again before the next feeding. This is a crucial time for your mantis, and it is best to leave it alone during this time. So I'd usually wait 2 to 3 days for nymphs and 3 to 4 days for adults. Typically you wait longer the older they grow. This mantis can live up to a year and they hit maturity once they develop the wings. Now I'm going to talk about the temperature in the tank. So it should range from around 24 to 30 degrees Celsius, but they can actually tolerate 18 to 24. Now this is for a slower growth rate, and I actually would not advise this, but obviously there's people out there that do it. Now in the tank, the humidity is around 60 to 80%. Regular misting will achieve this, and while you do that, also leave droplets for your mantis to be able to drink. As I've mentioned in previous videos before, mantis don't get all the hydration that they need from the insects, so spraying the tank and leaving droplets on the side, they'll be able to drink it. Now because we do have a few animals, this is the spray bottle that we use. We got it off Amazon. We've had it for quite some time now. We will eventually be getting a new one. But you will be able to find smaller ones that is a lot cheaper than the one that we've got. We do actually use ReptiSafe for all of our animals, but you probably could just go with spring water. There's a lot of stuff in our water that will possibly harm your animals, so you don't really want to be giving all that stuff to them. Now let's talk about the diet. These are voracious carnivores known to eat birds in the wild, But in captivity, we give them a varied diet of flies, crickets, dubias, moths, etc. Nymphs are usually fed fruit flies, and then once they get to a certain age, you can move them onto green bottles. You usually feed them around 2 to 3 times a week. Now that's until they at least reach until L3 to L4. And then they can be fed everything else, which after that is then fed twice weekly. Keeping in mind to gut load your insects for a healthy mantis. When your mantis refuses food, that's when you decide to take the crickets out, and then you'll leave your mantis alone. Especially with crickets, it has happened to me before. One of them ate me orchid mantis, and it was very devastating. I like to feed my mantis during the daytime. They do actually heavily rely on the vision to hunt, which means they are diurnal. However, they do fly at night, and they actually may be attracted to artificial light. Now the last thing that I want to cover is handling your mantis. As I know, most people enjoy handling their animals, but please do it on their terms. Forcing your mantis out for no reason will just cause unnecessary stress. You really only need to do it for health checks. So if you do choose to handle your mantis, then I'd advise putting your hand closely to them and just letting them choose to come onto you. Now that's called choice-based handling, and that actually allows your mantis to come and choose whether they want to come to you or not. If you have any questions, just comment and I will answer them as soon as I can.